Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Altcoin Mentors YouTube channel. My name is Peter, and today I'm going to go over the near-term and long-term technical analysis for Bitcoin, Ether, Litecoin, Ripple, and Bitcoin Cash. I'm also going to talk to you about our last two swings on Bitcoin and Ether, and the last couple of quick day trades that I made on Bitcoin and in Bitcoin Cash. So hopefully you enjoy our videos. If you want to be notified of our future videos, please hit the bell button to get notified. If you like us, please subscribe to our channel. We also have Twitter and Telegram. We have a model portfolio up that you can always check out and see what we're doing on a swing and position term basis. So hopefully by the end of this video, you don't have to agree with everything that we're doing, but you can have a better understanding of why we made the trades that we did, more importantly, why we exited them, and also where the coins are going, in our opinions, in the near and long-term future. So start with Bitcoin. So on the daily chart, what we see here is our entry point after a failed candle. We had a color change, confirmation up. We got in at 82.03. Started going a little bit higher. It kept on going our way, which was great. We made some money. But then we stalled into a little bit of a problem here because this bar here is a big bar and everything else is a inside bar. The last couple of days, Bitcoin has been teetering. Range has been really tight. And so because of the slowdown, I want to make sure that I protect my profits as much as I can. So yesterday, I exited my position at 8,900. Took a little bit of profit. We made $700, which is pretty good, which is a little bit over about 9%. So it's not bad for a few days of work. And earlier this morning, I made a short-term day trade on Bitcoin. And one of the reasons why I made it a short-term is because what I tweeted out earlier this morning. So I'll show it to you. So I basically said that today is another daily inside day. So yesterday was an inside day of Friday. Yesterday was another inside day of Saturday, and so today is another inside day of yesterday. So until it really breaks out of 90.70 or it goes lower, right, I'm going to only be day trading Bitcoin. So we'll talk about the earlier trade that I made over here. As we go in on a smaller chart here. So what you'll see here is that you see that what ended up happening is that I got out here at 8,900. It started going down. It bounced off of the 200 EMA, which is this green line over here. It started going a little bit higher. What I originally did was I put my stop loss right over here, Put it at the lower blue line. It started going a little bit higher, higher, and then I just started doing a wave count. So basically, we have a higher wave here, we have a lower wave, and then it went a little bit higher. So then I just moved my stop loss up to 88.30. It started going a little bit higher. It was going okay. And then what it did was it made another high. And then I moved it a little bit over here. And then it started going back higher and higher and higher. And then this time I really wanted to protect as much profit as I had, because of the fact that even at this point here, I barely make any money from the exiting position. The idea is that I was already in a swing trade. So if I want to get in, number one, I have to get big in at a better price. So before I got out at 8,900, I got in at 88.35. So that's definitely a better price. But I can't take a loss on this one, because if I take a loss on this one at this range, because it's choppy, why did I get out in the first place? So basically, as it went higher and higher and higher, it went up. And basically what I did was I put my stop loss at 8,900, which was where I had gotten out before. It went up, broke through. I thought maybe it would last a while, and then a few hours later, it came down and it got me. So if you see here, what happened is that this is the inside bar high from a couple days ago. And basically, ever since then, what we've been is we've been in a range. So because of this whole choppiness, it's hard to make any type of a serious push, because what it's saying is that there's no volume right now. So what we're doing is we've been hanging around the 50 and the 200, and eventually it's going to pop up or pop down. It's going to be one of those things that's going to happen, and I want to make sure that I protect my profits just in case it does pop down, because now we're getting close to 9,400, 9,350 to 9,400, which is our medium-term resistance zone. So we always want to be careful of that. So let me talk to you about the weeklies to let you know where I think it's going to go. In my opinion, Bitcoin still looks very strong, but the idea is that we're here to make some money. I'm not a hodler. I don't believe in buying and holding for a very, very long period of time. I will hold it for as long as the charts tell me. Right now, everything looks good on the weeklies. My problem purely here is the inside candles. So I said that last time this thing went higher on a weekly basis was all the way over here in September of 2016. And it started making this nice run, which is great. But if you look at the daily candles in between, you'll see that there was a lot of chop, in between as it was going up. Doesn't really look as smooth as just the one color. So there are always opportunities to get in and to get back out. I am not going to go short. I am continuing to go long, but I just have to pick my spots as to where I'm going to go long and where I'm going to get out. So my first target really is at 9,400. After that, my target is at 10.7, and 11.7 is my next major resistance target up to the top side. And if it goes up there, then I really think it'll break higher and go past 18,000 up to the 20,000 range like it did before. So that's my near-term and long-term outlook for Bitcoin. Let's talk about Ether. So Ether, once again, was the same type of setup. I really like this one a little bit better. It bounced off of the major support at 502. I caught it at 530. It kept on going higher and higher and higher. Let me shrink down to a smaller time frame so you get an understanding of why I decided to get out. So the reason why I decided to get out was that when I entered this trade, I said that my target was going to be at 663. So as it was going higher and higher and higher, it had all these dips, which is great. It starts bouncing off of it, and that's a very good sign. But the problem, though, is that as it got to this level over here, which is 646, I'm only 17 points away from my target at 663. So what you want to do is when you're here, you don't want to be losing $30, $40, $50, just try to make an extra $17. That's bad money management. Because what you're doing then is that every time you go into a trade, you want at least a 2-to-1 reward ratio in your favor, right? So basically, if you're going for a reward of 200, you want to risk 100. So now, as you're making money, what a lot of times people do is that they give up too much money, too much of their profits, because sometimes it gets close to their targets, but then it comes back a lot, pretty violently, and they end up losing a big chunk. So that's where the math comes in. It doesn't really make a sense to do that. So if I'm only $16, $17 away from my target, right, and I still want to maintain my 2-to-1 ratio, what I really should do is I should have about a $7, $8 stop. That's really what happened here. So at 646, it started to continue going down, and then I ended up getting out at 639, right? Which is basically I gave up the $7 because I was looking to get 17 to the upside, and I don't want to lose that much to the downside. And if I hadn't done that overnight, it had dropped all the way down to 617. So if I had kept my stop loss somewhere between 625, 630, somewhere in that range, I would have been stopped out anyway. I would have given up way too much of my profit. I mean, by the time I wake up, I can't trade anymore because now it is much higher than where I had gotten out. And that now all you're doing is chasing. So I'm really going to wait for on Ether is wait for maybe another pullback below to the 50 EMA, which right now is about 627. Hopefully get back into the low 30s for the push back up to 662. So let's look at the long term for Ether. The long term for Ether, also just like Bitcoin, it looks pretty good. It's been a while since the weekly is confirmed. For Ether, the last time the weekly confirmed to the upside was November of last year in 2017. And it basically went from 330 all the way up to 1300. It was a little zigzaggy up to the top, and that's what I expect over here. So as it's going higher and higher and higher, the next resistance zone, like I said, is at 663, and up the next major resistance at 784. I think if it can really break that, then I think get back up to the 1300 area, which it was at before. So let's talk about Litecoin. But before we do, once again, thank you for watching our videos. You can please subscribe to our channel if you like what you see. If you have any comments or questions below, please write them down in the comment section. If you like what you see, you can also pass it along to your fellow crypto traders. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Telegram and see how we've done. We've actually done pretty well in the last couple of months. I think as a total, we're up 30%, while the markets have only been up about 15 to about 18%. So let's talk about Litecoin. So Litecoin is the same problem that Bitcoin has, which is that it has a inside day bar. So basically for the last 3 days, it's been overshadowed by this one big bar on Friday. So everything inside of that is a inside day. So if we shrink it out to a shorter time frame, you can really see what I mean. So basically, ever since this day over here, right, it has been chugging along a little bit slowly, to the upside, but it's been very zigzaggy. So what happens is that because it's been very rangy, you can get spooked as it made a big drop, because from here, from 157 all the way down to 140, that is a pretty significant drop, and that spooked a lot of people, and people did get inside, but some of the times the ranges are so violent to the upside or to the downside, then you can get spooked. So what I'm doing is I'm going to wait for it to settle down a little bit, because it was getting close to the 160 target, which was the medium-term resistance zone. So if it pulls back again, back into the low 140s, then I might look into getting back into it into the long side. So let's look at Litecoin on a long-term basis. So the long-term basis for Litecoin looks pretty good. I said that this has been one of my favorite coins for the last few months, because it hasn't really dropped further than the February lows. It's been hanging around and doing pretty well. But it still hasn't cleared and confirmed to the upside. So it came really close. So this week, if it goes past the 160 level, then I think it has a very good chance of getting to 200 in a very quick fashion, and then 260 and 306, and possibly to 400 in the in the long-term future. So let's talk about Ripple on a daily chart. So Ripple is also looking very good, but just like Bitcoin and for Litecoin, it's also, the days have been in inside bars. So basically everything has been rangy for a while. Right now it is at medium-term resistance, and that's one of the reasons why I haven't got into it yet, because I'm basically waiting for it to maybe pull back a little bit down to the mid-70 range, and then have it break through 86 again and get back up into the 121 area. So on a weekly chart, it looks very strong. So if it passes here up past 94 cents, I think it really has a chance to get up to 120 and back a little bit higher. Everyone, Ripple is one of those coins where everyone has a lot of opinions about it. But for me, I just like to look at the charts, and the charts pretty much tell me everything. And what Ripple has told me is that it went up fast and it went down fast. And because of that, I have to be very, very cautious, as Ripple is one of the ones that has a high daily ATR as a percentage. So right now, the ATR has gone up significantly, and so as a percentage of price, it's a little bit higher than everything else. So that means that it can go up fast, but it can also go down as fast as well. So with Ripple, I'm trying to be a little bit more cautious. So let's go to Bitcoin Cash, which has been on fire over the last few weeks. They announced the fork, and ever since then, it's just gone higher, higher, higher. I missed a buying opportunity over here as it bounced off of major support at 853. I did catch a small move today, and I did get kicked out though, because I got in a little bit late. I still need to protect my profits. If I gotten in anywhere below 850, I would have, stayed in for a much longer period of time, riding the waves a little bit higher until I get spooked, maybe around 1500. But until then, I have to play it cautious. I have to protect my capital at all costs. So it looks like it's definitely going higher because unlike the other coins, it is not an inside day. Everything is just going higher and higher. It's making new highs almost every single day. So let's talk about where I got in and why. So this one was pretty much a no-brainer for me. This is one of the setups I really love. Because basically what happened is that Bitcoin Cash went a little bit higher, and then it hit major support at 1154, and it bounced right back up in a very strong way. Had to change the color. I got in at 1210, and then basically what I did was I just rode the waves. So I had my first stop right over here. It went a little bit higher. It broke down, and then once it created a new high, I put my trailer over here. It went down. It went high. I put my trailer right over here. Then went up, and since it passed, it made a new high. I put my trailer right here at 1352. So then basically, I would guarantee myself a decent amount of profit, about 140 bucks, which is about 12%, which is pretty good, I think, for one day. It went up. It kind of teased me for a little bit. It broke down, kicked me out, and then now it's just a little bit higher at about 1393. I do think it'll go down. If I had gotten in a little bit earlier, maybe somewhere in this zone, way down here when it bounced off the 200, then I would probably be still in it, because then instead of looking at the 15-minute, I would probably look at the hourly, and then I probably would have put my stop loss all the way down at 1328. But that means that I would have gotten in here, not gotten in here. And that's a huge difference based on time frame. So because I got in a little bit later, I had to watch a smaller time frame. And because of that, it kicked me out a little bit faster. So let's look at the weeklies for Bitcoin Cash and where it might go. So right now, it's on its way up to 1553, so it's pretty close. So as it gets closer and closer, you have to be careful of and mindful of your profits. So you can't try to give away a lot of money just to make an extra, $100. You can't have a $300 stop loss looking to make another $100, $150 from where it is right now. Right now it is, exactly $150 away from the major resistance zone. So you can't have your stop loss all the way down to 1170. It's a way too much of a loss to get, because once again, Bitcoin Cash, if we look at, go back to the hourly charts, it can, go down rather quickly. So you have to be very careful of that. So it can it can have big moves of $200. So basically, if it's at $13.97 now, as it gets a little bit closer, about $150 away, if you are too loose with it, it can come back down right away, come get you, and then go back up. So you might as well take a larger piece of profit and then try to get back in at a better price. So I hope that you learned why we got into our certain trades, why we got out, and where the near-term and the long-term trends and the direction for the top 5 coins are headed. So once again, we thank you for watching. Please share this with some of your other crypto traders. Follow us on Twitter and also on Telegram. Thank you very much, and see you in our next video.